Hello, welcome to Case Closed. My name is Nima Abdullahi and I'll be the podcaster of this episode. Today we will be diving into the most disturbing and infamous criminal in American history. The story of Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as Milwaukee Cannibal. This case shocked the nation not only because of the brutality of the crimes, but also how long they went unnoticed. Over the next few minutes, we'll break down who Dahmer was, what he did, how he was caught, and the lasting impact of his crimes. Jeffrey Dahmer was born May 21st, 1960, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. From a young age, there were signs that something wasn't right. He was described as quiet, withdrawn, and socially awkward. As a teenager, he developed a fascination with dead animals and collecting roadkill and dissecting them. His home life wasn't stable either. His parents had a troubled marriage and eventually divorced, leaving Dahmer feeling abandoned. During high school, his behavior became more concerning. He began drinking heavily and isolating himself even more. These were early signs, unfortunately, were overlooked and dismissed, setting the stage for what could come later. Dahmer committed his first crime in 1978, just after graduating high school. After that, there was a gap before he began killing again in 1987. Over the next several years, he murdered 17 young men and boys. What made his crimes especially horrifying was not just the murder themselves, but what he did afterwards. Dahmer often lured his victims into his apartment with the promise of money or alcohol. Once there, he drugged them, strangled them, and engaged in acts that included necrophilia and cannibalism. He also attempted to create what he called zombies by drilling into victims' skulls and injecting chemicals, hoping to control them. Many of his victims were from marginalized communities, which contributed to why their disappearance didn't immediately draw widespread attention. Dahmer's crimes finally came to an end on July 22nd, 1991. One of his intended victims, Tracy Edwards, managed to escape and flag down police officers. When the officers went back to Dahmer's apartment, what they found was insane. Inside, they found photographs of dismembered bodies, human remains stored in the refrigerator, and evidence of his gruesome activities. It quickly became clear that this wasn't a single crime, but a pattern of horrific murders spanning over a decade. The arrests shocked the public, and as more details came out about the case gained national and international attention. Dahmer's trial began in 1992. He pleaded guilty but insane to the charges. His defense argued that he was suffering from a severe mental illness, while the prosecution maintained that he was fully aware of his actions. In the end, the jury found him legally sane. Dahmer was convicted of 15 counts of murder and sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms in prison, effectively ensuring he was never going to be released. During the trial, many families of the victims gave emotional statements expressing their grief and anger. Their voice became a powerful reminder that behind every headline was a real person whose life has been taken. Jeffrey Dahmer did not spend the rest of his life in prison as expected. In 1994, he was beaten to death by another inmate while serving his sentence. Even after his death, the case continues to be studied and discussed. It raised serious questions about law enforcement failures, particularly how victims were ignored or returned to dangerous situations. It also highlighted issues of race, class, and systematic bias. Today, the Dahmer case remains one of the most chilling examples of how deeply disturbing crimes can go unnoticed, and how it's important to listen, investigate, and take warning signs very serious. That will be all for today's episode. I hope you found this episode very informative and you will take warning signs very seriously in the future. Thank you for listening.